find loopholes and not really coming to what he was being chosen to.
And Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of the Most High descending like a dove and lighting upon him. That was a chariot. It says, and lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Yeah, so they actually seen the Spirit descend upon him.
That's all that.
You actually had been.
This is Spirit. When I went on chat, when I went on Blue Letter, it brought up this Romans 8, right? So deliverance from bondage. And that bondage was the law, the Spirit. Now check this stuff. It's saying, because with the law there is condemnation, there's judgment, right? So Romans 8 and 1 it says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in the Mashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua hath made me free from the law of sin and death.
Because the scriptures, it is actually going to go into it that the law of the Most High is spiritual. And Jacob was doing the cut, they were doing everything carnal. They were wearing they were playing the part, or they looked, but they wasn't actually playing the part. They wasn't being blinded, or yet born of the Pharisees, the leaven of the Pharisees, which was their doctrine. White as sepulchres, but
Because they were still in sin. Overall, they were still in sin. When it says, but what the law cannot do, and that is weak to the flesh, because we are subject to sin. So we always going to go off. We always going to fuck up. Even if we don't want to. Especially more now in this time, 2,000 years ago, because we lost our entire way. We don't know how to, we really don't even know how to do the proper Passover. Who rehearsed the righteous acts of all these things? It says, but what the law cannot do is that it will weak the flesh.
that's the main thing that the Lord wants. He is being a hypocrite. Instead of them, being sincere, pure, holy like they're supposed to be, and being an example of being hypocrites.
What the law cannot do is that it was weak to the flesh, the Most High sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh.
So he sent them as a normal man. He came as a normal man, having some of all our flaws, but he showed perfection.
And that was just the way the Lord set it up there. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. We walk in after the flesh, we walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh, we mind the things of the flesh, but they that are of the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
What he's saying that he wants them to worship him in spirit and in truth. So that's what the Lord is looking for, those who are worshiping him in spirit and truth. Not the man that's looking for it.
Yeah.
But he's a hypocrite. He say all statutes and commandments, but he'll slander his brother.
Yeah. Yep.
That ain't what the Lord looking for. But you got many Israelites who are like that. Have judgment. And that's what the Lord loves. The Lord loves judgment. He loves those that deal with judgment.
Righteousness.
And our people, they are sweet judgment. They scriptures talk about, they rest in judgment.
Right, yes, yeah. And a part of being a leader, a head, a priest of the Israelites, right? Being in the gates, you're supposed to not rest judgment.
Yeah, that's especially towards what the wicked Esau, you know what I'm saying? Because his whole society is treacherous. When you really dig into it, it doesn't uphold the law, and the law is slack. be okay with that. Really, you're supposed to be calling that out.
But through your house now, going back to the point, your house shall be free. All right, through your house shall be free of bondage, and that bondage was the law. So we needed your house shall because we inherited it, and we can't keep the whole law. Okay, so your house shall had to come. All right, go ahead.
This is Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. And it reads, Hamashiach have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, cursed is every one that hangeth on a tree. That the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Hamashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, because the Gentiles was the ones that had to believe by faith. Those that were scattered. So they had to have the faith of Abraham. They had to believe in the Lord. That's all they had to do. Okay?
That we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith.
See? Through faith. So that's what this thing is about. This is about faith. Okay? It's about faith. Having faith in Yahweh Shem Shah, believing that He is. Okay? You got it.
This is Ephesians 2:8. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
That's it. It's a gift. So we're up here for faith, man. We're up here standing in the name of Yahweh Shem Shah by way of faith. Because our righteousness is filthy rag. Okay? We know we sin, but we need Yahweh Shai as our intercession. Okay? Because if we walk in the Spirit and not by the flesh, that's where Yahweh Shai comes in and to, present us to the Lord. Somebody get them where it says, what do you say that he would, if anybody is offended me, I won't complain to the Father. So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's be a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
So like shame of the gospel. 2:9 it says, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Hamashiach, Yahushua, the chosen redeemer, or the chosen deliverer, unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision.
Yeah, that's going into the history, where you had the Jews calling the Israelites that were scattered in different lands, called uncircumcised because they were brought up in the customs. Okay, it says in the flesh there was an actual physical circumcision that had to be done. But remember, that was going back to the law. But see, there's something called a spiritual circumcision too, which is in the mind, which is you're peeling off, so to speak, or cutting away that old man, that old flesh, the old man ways. But you're doing it through the Spirit.
You coming into
There ain't nothing there's no sacrifice that you make to, to complete that. Because the ultimate sacrifice is Yahweh Shah. So all we have to do is just believe that He rose from the dead, and that His life was put on the line for the sins of the nation, to get Him with the elect. And through that belief, we can get drawn into the good graces of Yahweh.
It says, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the gospel of Israel.
Yeah, you was a stranger of your covenant. You was a stranger of the promises. You was a stranger of your inheritance. Okay? Because, hey, look, one of the curses says that we were scattered. There was a scattering right there. There was a scattering amongst the known world at that time. And then it on a broader scale, when it comes to the translated slave trade and, being shipped off all around the globe.
Became a vicious cycle.
Yeah, but it was a scattering already within the land.
Yeah, the Lord's heritage is dispersed.
Right.
And part of the rebuttal to the curse was a promise. A promise that the Lord would gather all his people back to himself. So that's why Yep, so it says, having no hope and without God in the world. See, the Lord's heritage scattered, having no hope and was without him in the world. But now in Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, ye who sometimes were far off
And
are
that was
made.
and those that was far off was talking about the land. All right, what was far off in land wise. All right, that's why in Acts the second chapter we're going over the various parts where Jacob's at. You know, go ahead.
It says, but now in Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, ye who sometimes were far off, are made nigh by the blood of Hamashiach.
So we're made nigh by the blood. Okay. Through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice brought us closer to the Father. You know?
For he is our peace, who hath made, there you go, who hath made both one and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us. Yeah, because the Lord, he only had beef with Israel. We already know how he felt about the other nations. So
Yeah, man. With that wall being broken down, right? That was like a bridge. You know, it was like a bridge to cross over. Then they shall worship him in spirit. Right? That wall had to be broken down because it ain't about the law. That's the purpose. That's the reason. It's not about the law. It's about Yahweh Shai. The law made no man righteous. The law couldn't make us righteous because we were in sinful flesh.
it was a schoolmaster.
You know?
We got some.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 11. It says, for other foundations can no man lay, but that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. When you said that bridge that was basically created, you know, what had to be understood that it was Yahweh Shai, that's the only way you can go through. Because that could link up with, you know, the right way, you know, the only way you can obtain salvation, the only way you can be free. Well, what did that, Yahweh Shai say in John 17 chapter? Word made me free. You know,
Actually had that.
but it was through Yahweh Shai, you know. Even Yahweh Shai said, the words that I speak, they are life. You know, so it's Yahweh Shai that he's the bridge, you know, the gap, you know, the yeah, in the way of the life, yeah.
Get us back to that. Scripture. This is come drink of the fountain of living water. Because we rejected it. And it says we have borne the shame of the heathen. You know, we became like unto them. You know,
This is Romans. I think you have copies. This is Romans, the first chapter, the 16th verse, and it reads, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. For therein there is righteousness."
because you had what? You had Israelites who were dispersed in Asia Minor. All right, in those Greek city-states. Okay? They had synagogues. All right, when you read about the churches of the 7 churches of Asia Minor, where do you think they were? They were in Greek city-states. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith. As it is written, the just shall live by faith.
That's Jeremiah, right? No, I heard this in Matthew.
There's
Words, this adulterous and sinful generation.
No.
ball meditates, a certain spirit.
Well,
Yep.
that's,
I was literally thinking about it yesterday. I was like, imagine that a certain knowledge has been hidden for centuries.
Yeah.
And at the time when it was known, everybody hated it. But then fast track thousands of years later, this understanding come back and
it's treasure. It's like we opened
Yeah,
up that box,
yeah.
like we got that same knowledge
Yeah.
that everybody hated.
Yeah, but now the population is even worse.
Yeah.
And now you're coming out with that information that was hated, and now look at how they're acting. So imagine that, man. That's what
We
we're.
stepped into the fire.
Yeah.
We put ourselves into the fire.
Yeah. And like the brother quoted earlier with Isaiah 59, we are definitely a target now.
Yeah.
But it said again, Matthew 10 and 32, whosoever therefore shall confess before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Yep. So it has to be Yahweh Shai. And there's even there's a way, to profess if you believe this or not. There's a way to show it. There's a way to say it. You're talking, you're teaching the right thing, and also based on your actual your interaction with life. How are you conducting yourself? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai literally stand for something. That's righteousness. So yeah.
I got a question real quick concerning confession. Romans chapter 9, 10, verse 9 to 10 says, if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that the Lord Yahweh Shai, and shalt believe in thine heart that the Most High have raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Yeah. So you gotta believe that the Lord was risen, right? He's resurrected. That's what the Lord believes. But that belief that ain't nothing easy to believe. Resurrection, that believe that the Most High resurrected His Son. Now, how many other people in the world believe that? They don't believe that. That's hard to believe. It says, verse 10, for with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
And that's why this is known as slack. That's why this is known as the foolishness of preaching. Because when we're out here preaching these topics, these things that go against everything that everybody in the world stands for. So that confession that we're confessing, that's going to bring us into salvation, bring us into the kingdom.
And y'all was talking about this, to my phone, that's one video popped up, but it posted an hour ago. It literally said tapping into Yahweh Shai to finish the course. It feels spiritual.
That's what they last week was believing in the resurrection. Because that opens us up to salvation and spiritual power.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the spiritual power. It's power right there. It's power.
Because it's that same power that He resurrected Yahweh Shai. It's the same power that the Lord's going to give us in the times of our trouble.
And on the spiritual note, it's when we were dead in the spirit, and through Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh raising up Yahweh Shai, the physical body, we're resurrected too.
Spiritual power.
We're resurrected in the spirit.
Yeah, Revelation.
So it's the same that dead, as Yahweh Shai in a sense, But we found we didn't find shit. The Lord woke us up. Cooking. So it's all spiritual, man. If you really believe, like you gotta go back to in the way of before you came into this truth, you knew what you used to be about. You knew like with this understanding, like that's dead. No understanding, no understanding at all. Wicked, adulterer, idol worshiper, whatever philosophies you was involved in, But now you in the truth. That's a fucking miracle. That you see that like Yahweh Shai was a miracle. Him resurrected. That was a miracle. Our story is a miracle that we woke up. We didn't have to. The Lord didn't have to wake us up. So we give thanks to Yahweh for even waking us up through Yahweh Shai.
It's like one of the more subtle miracles. You know, a miracle that you have to really like kind of key in.
You gotta pay attention to that. You know, you gotta pay attention to 1969. I was members in the waking up. You have to stay there. You gotta really believe in that. You gotta believe in that calling, man. Because that was a real calling, man. All right? And now, 56 years later, from 1969 to now, 56 years later, you see all of the Akim, the believers, men and women waking up to this knowledge. And that's why we have bullshit, vocabulary, mind the Aconite rising, all right? All these different slick, goddamn, Project Mosquitoes, you know, King Alpha Clan, all these different things put together. He's trying to do to stop us from getting this knowledge. See, this is a heavy, high call awakening. To wake up and confess. Now, we ain't confessing on how the church confesses. We confessing that, yes, the Lord rose. All right? He rose. He rose for the Israelites. Yahweh rose up Yahweh Shai for him to bring back home the elect, the nation of Israel. And we got to believe that.
I got
First Corinthians 1:25, it says, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. So that might seem weak in the eyes of an average Joe Schmo, but that is powerful because it's really subtle. You notice I had in Job where it says Job 33:15, it's the GMC, it says 14, it says, although God speaks again and again, no one pays attention to what he says or what he doing. You know? And if you look at the scripture, you say once, twice, but yet man comprehends not, something like that.
This is about what you were just saying about being raised in the spirit. This is Romans 8:11, and it reads, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. This is Romans 8:11, and it reads, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you.
Just imagine having that mindset, oh, the Lord's going to resurrect me anyway. That's no fear. You know? And then these scriptures talk about the perfect love casteth off fear. So that's the type of confidence that we got to come into. It's like, if you believe Yahweh Shai is resurrected, well, guess what? It comes with a confidence. It comes with a mindset.
That's why we're bold.
Yeah.
Because we believe that we believe and we know what the Lord has shown us, what he has woken us up to. That same power, that same spirit that rose him up is the same spirit that rose our mortal dead bodies. And the spirit rose us up to life right now. This is us beginning to live. Beginning with us beginning to live comes first with this truth. Then the living shall know that the Lord what does it say in Daniel? The living may know. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah. Because imagine telling Esau, you know, when he decides, when he's, you know, give you the ultimatum, hey, fuck you. You know, you're going to have to get right. You have to have that mindset. Like, yeah, if you kill me, you're going to resurrect me. That's how the 7 children in the back said. That's the same, you know. And that's that faith comes to the wisdom.
I'm believing it too.
Yeah, just said she murdered herself like
The woman
You make it repetitive point.
Damn.
That's why Leah made that song, 1 million.
That was Proverbs or
You got something?
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Well, I got something.
Go ahead.
I'm just going back to that scripture, that when you believe in with your heart, or your spirit, confession must be made with your spirit. Faith without works is dead, like Paul said. You have faith, but you can inevitably have works that coincide with obedience. Right? So this is 2 Corinthians 4:13 says we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, and therefore speak. So if you believe, you're going to be speaking, you're going to be confessing. And it says,
I have Revelation 11, 7.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Revelation 11 and 7.
that's actually a bad scripture. You got to really find it too, because it explains a lot. It explains our conviction, and it puts the pieces together. The great fall of the way.
Bodies are still.
Revelation 11 and 8 says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Now the dead bodies represent a fall. Actually, when you go into the word dead, it represents a falling away. And that lines directly up with 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, when he says, before the Lord's second return, there should be a great falling away first. Okay? So that falling away had to happen, and it happened to the Israelites here on this side of the world. All right? Transatlantic slave trade. That's why that's so big. That's an astonishment. They just voted on that being the worst crime in humanity in the world. Okay, that's not for no reason. So, and I'm just pointing to it being highlighted. Okay, because what? That's what that's part of our great falling away. You see? So, yeah. What it says, what's your spiritually called Sodom in Egypt? Because what? Sodom is dealing with what? It's dealing with the worship of idols, and it's dealing with the homosexuality, Boism, and Moism, as we put it. Okay? And that's what America's known for. So it carries that spirit. It carries that spirit of that, is it androgynous? Where they worship the opposite,
Yeah, the man and the woman,
Yeah.
the Baphomet.
Right.
I was just gonna say hermaphrodite.
That goes back to an idol. And that's dealing with the fornication what is it, the wine of a wrath from fornication.
Because of the mindset,
Yep.
the ideology, the doctrine behind it, the spirit behind it.
It's a whole idol.
Sodom Jews, part of the reason why, we play on word there, because this place is meant to be burned. Like burned up. So, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Egypt, the bondage. Yeah. And crucified means to be crossed out. That's what they did with the image of our Lord. They gave you a whole fresh white version, a whole completely when they put the black light on white. What's that light?
The black light? No.
It's like
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but that's what they did to the Lord, like a white.
Like an infrared, but something
Yeah, something
like that. Yeah. I don't think that's it, but yeah.
Yeah, so they put up the image of Chesapeake Hotel, which is not. They gave the world a completely different spirit. They say he was coming to help, heal all, save all, but what the scriptures do with
Yeah, because the purpose of this talking, his purpose, what he was, what his father was, who he came for, the spirit that the Lord is in, it make him be this motherfucking fairy, it's his hippie, like a hippie, like a just always happy and loving and shit, like hippie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on, man. The Lord was an awesome man. Right. He was an awesome man. Right? He was about his father's business, man.
See? It said, and they of the people, and keep
Another form of crucified slavery. Crucified while Lord was crucified. Remember, he didn't get crucified in Egypt. So you gotta understand. Spiritually, when you read the scripture, you gotta put your mind into it, man. It said while our Lord was crucified. He wasn't crucified in Egypt. So what could that be talking about?
Man, that solidifies the breakdown. That makes it like,
He was crucified in Rome. So what does it mean while our Lord was crucified? It has to be a place. It's a parable. But see, that's what the Harakakadash, which is the knowledge, the understanding, leads you to say, oh, God, to all. Then you begin to question. Now, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, right? Why would they give a lineage of the Messiah, Matthew 1, all the way down to his parents of being born if he wasn't born of a man? You know, why would they give a lineage? Right. Why would they give a lineage? These things have to be, questioned and answered. You know? But you got it, brother.
I had a screenshot of something that someone said about that concept. Like, it's so fucking crazy. Like that guy did what he had sex with a woman to bring himself down to go back up. It was like, they're like, what the hell is going on in the church?
What's a place to see?
Yeah.
You know, when they think
Christianity is stupid, man.
Don't
This shit is dumb.
it's contradictory.
Yeah.
It's dumb. That dumb book, that philosophy is destroying. And you know what? It's the Lord. It's a delusion. The Lord, he said, I hope somebody gets that. The Lord will give you send you strong delusion. So the Lord ultimately did it because when you read the scriptures, like, how the fuck can they not say it? But no, they can't because the Lord put that blind on. This whole thing is spiritual, man. How can we read the same thing and a million people get a different interpretation of it?
Well, I'll just also say that we started out at verse 8 as talking about dead bodies, which we're going to get to the end of it. But that's how you know this spiritual thing too, because it says that something happens to these dead bodies. So, if you want to read that first.
Yeah, I got you. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
And that's what's happening from no cap to plantation Christianity to all over the world with these different doctrines. To believe in lie. He literally created the wicked to bring in. Remember, he's known as the false prophet. The false prophet covers all things in the Catholic Church. Each different branch of philosophy came from Catholicism. Okay? The dog, yeah, this was the weapon that the Lord gave Esau, which is a deception. He was deceptive. He gave him that to be deceptive, skillful, a cunning hunter. You know, and that's what we see.
Going back, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
So the Lord made them, look, y'all will believe this bullshit just so y'all can get destroyed. And I'm going to deliver my elect.
Yeah, and that's been the lie for centuries. You know? It says, and for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they might believe a lie. Because that whole immaculate conception, you had the council of different council of Trent, council of Nicaea. Yeah, it's in one of those councils where they deify. You know, they give her they make her a deity. They deify her. You know, but the Lord by his mind. He said, you know, what he said? He said, what's it?
He said,
Yeah, yeah.
he said,
Right, he did. Right, he
he said, my
cast
time
out.
ain't yet.
Yeah, yeah. He said, you're right. Why did you lie? My time ain't yet.
Boy, make this damn line.
Still have to go there, mama, right? But yeah, so I mean, they had councils to bring in the doctrine, but that's a violation of adding to the scripture. You know, if you add to the scripture, guess what? The Lord gonna add the plagues that's written in His book. So the Roman Catholic, it ain't none of them got away with nothing. They don't care. Rainbow Juror, what's his father's name? Rodrigo.
Hope Alexander.
Hope Alexander the Sixth. You know, the Lord ain't forget that. They gonna have to pay for all of this. We gonna have to pay for all of
Raphael, Donatello,
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo, yeah. Those were, they weren't just painters, man.
that.
Those were sorcerers.
That's what's missing.
They weren't just painters, they were sorcerers,
Yeah,
man.
that's right. You're
A
right.
lot of them was mercenaries.
They was making engines of war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
strategists. They got the book on what was signing up as a prior war. They are now psychopaths. Okay. Going back to Revelation 11:8. It said that their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another.
Yeah, that happened. Because at one point, the slaves, they drove up the economy. So at one point, the production of cotton was 50% of the world's GDP. Or is it America? But 50, I think it was the whole world. But I might be mistaken. But they made so much money off the cotton industry because they started making textiles. They started making clothes. And so they would send each other, how they send each other's gifts is what? Through the manufacture of textiles. So they say, so the cotton, the production of cotton by way of slaves, right, drove up the economy. Okay. And so what? People all over the world benefited off the backs of slaves. And that's how they were giving themselves gifts. Okay? Yeah. Revelations 11.
I've been like this 2 weeks. I didn't.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 9.
Yeah.
And it reads, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. And shall not.
3 days and a half. 3 days and a half represents 350 years. Okay? Because, I mean, you can go, you can actually, and a day in the scriptures can't represent 100 years. It can represent a day can represent 1,000 years. All right, but part of the mystery here is that it's 350 years. So 3 days and a half. We're ready to get
Revelation 11 and 9. And it reads, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
Yeah, so basically what they stood by while the nation of Israel was in captivity. Meaning like the head, which is Judah. Okay? Yeah, but it's actually more than that, you know? Because you gotta bring into account the Northern Kingdom. You know, they came over here in 1492. You know? And,
Well, it stems, that prophecy stems from when,
yeah, Judah.
when Judah came in. What is it?
That kind of really started everything.
Yeah, when Judah came in, because that was the prophecy that would be pressed together. Beginning in that time.
Sure.
Trying to think of the year.
because I think that was like when the very first
Yeah, yeah.
slaves came or whatever.
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
In other words, no memorial. So when you put somebody in the grave, you have what you have what it comes repast. Oh, that's that. But you have a memorial. You know, yeah, remembrance. So here lies such and such and go over their life. But no, in America, they beat our nationality, our heritage.
We had no idea of who we were.
And that's not by what you call coincidence. That's all strategic plan.
And fulfill the prophecy of the Lord coming to return for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So they tried to sabotage it. In Psalms 83, and that's why this awakening is so great, because
There was nothing that this devil could have done differently, because prophecy supersedes over everything that man has going on. Prophecy is prophecy. Prophecy is something that is heavenly inspired. See, nobody can stop what the prophecies of this book has to say. No matter what you feel or what you think, the prophecies of Yahweh Shall stand. And like the scripture says, it says, my counsel will stand. Now, all my pleasure, so part of the Lord's pleasure was publicity. Part of the Lord's pleasure was having this nation rule over us and taking our customs and heritage away. It was his pleasure. But guess what? It still was his pleasure to wake us up and give us this marvelous story to awake.
Sons of Jacob are not consumed. Isaiah also speaks about that. He said that they shall call their name. Their
Get it,
name by
Isaiah
their
44.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
first time I ever read this.
Because I was gonna wait till you read verse 11, but this is going back to the miracle too. Because when you think about it, what was what was real life? What I said earlier, having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, knowing how about shine. To see that get taken away, like totally sucked out of us, and make us dead. To a point where it looks like it's going to be impossible for us to ever come back to our wisdom. And then it happened. That's a miracle.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
The scriptures, I couldn't find it. Someone else may be able to find it. Was a scripture in the Apocrypha where it said, "Have one ever returned from the grave?" It's never been done before. So that's why reading in Revelation, the 11th chapter, this is that great miracle that happened to us. It's a spiritual miracle because, like what you said, it's that. What did you say a minute ago? It was like a silent thing.
Oh, so yeah.
It was subtle.
So
Because when you look at our people in the past, and from what, even before during slavery, like I was saying, it looked like we lost it. We look and even look at our people now. Look how gone they are, man. Do they look wise? Do they sound wise? Girl before we came over, like she did not look like she was all the way there.
dancing and shit in front
Yeah.
of me.
Yeah.
I found that verse you were looking for.
Really?
Yeah, it's Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 1. And it reads, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave."
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Putting it towards what I was talking about, our people looked dead, done and dead, like it was a one and done. That was it. When Ezekiel asked, "Can these bones live?" He was like, "Is it even possible?
Yeah.
Is it even possible?"
Somebody will better with that.
That's a good one, too.
And then Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Because like the elders were saying here a minute ago too, this was strategic, man. This was planned, and the whole meaning behind the system, the American system, the word behind it, literally is an intricate design. So it took years. They took a lot of time to do what they did here to their understanding and knowledge.
But the left hand side was really dealing with Esau.
Yeah.
Like this said, and it's like people coming back with certain information that like this new world order, this shit this been an agenda for damn near like 1,000 years ago. And, it's like what type of spirit is on these fucking Edomites? It gotta be the left hand side.
Well,
And memoirs and shit. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, this is gonna be for our future.
Right.
They can seal that bitch up. And,
Detriment.
you know what I'm saying? And they able to find, open up the capsule and shit. And they read, and they finish reading what their great grandfather said. And they got to it.
Yeah.
Now I ain't saying that that's what happened. But we know the Lord, however happy to find out in detail how they was able for generation to generation to keep this new world order plan plot to push all the way until 2026. All right, it's y'all by Shemal Shai and the left hand side dealing with it.
To back you up, the whole formula of the Illuminati, man. They said it was a secret society. It was built to have a one world control eventually.
1776.
Yep. So yeah.
So they always knew who we were.
Yeah.
Maybe real quick,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention the Willie Lynch letter as well. That was a huge part of like the mental subjugation
Yeah.
that played a role in like putting Jake in a slave mentality. I just had a little bit of information.
That's
here.
heavy witchcraft, Slakia. Because that's heavy witchcraft because like we're gonna create this system where we're gonna keep these people oppressed for 400 years. Like to have that mindset, this is gonna last for 400 years. This is well, you probably on your third reincarnation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You probably on your third time coming back. And they know this. Why is it in Daniel? Esau's a motherfucker, man.
Why do you think you got Nero 47 and why, him being so arrogant and so, you know what I'm saying, so proud, and then every law he's passing is really to inadvertently go after Jake,
Yeah.
to cut Jake off.
With that agenda.
He
Yeah.
really struggles to study himself from the past.
Fuck around.
No, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
They know about reincarnation, man. They know, this might have been, who they might have
And
been.
then they listen to the prophets.
Yeah.
They listen to us, man. Go ahead.
Willie Lynch prophesied on the left hand side when he said in the Willie Lynch letter, he said, if you do this, and that, you can have it in a slave mentality for over 300 years. He said that in 1712. He came to the shores of America from the Caribbean coast. So I just had a little information here pertaining to that there was a phrase.
Yeah, until we find something what else to do with it.
There was a phrase in that book that was called "Keep the body, take the mind." So when you got control of the mind, you're able to completely subjugate that person. And they still are in the process today. I'm going to read this real quick. It says the phrase "keep the body, take the mind" speaks directly to the core of a slave mentality because it describes the systematic process of breaking a person's will to resist. By keeping the body physically functional while completely subjugating the mind, enslavers ensured absolute control.
Yeah, that's why they get mad when we were able to break the mind control.
That's why they said we was fools. You gotta, they said that. We fools. Like, you gotta, understand, like, the mindset of Esau at a fucking council table. What the fuck? Like, we fools. Like, it's dramatic.
Right.
How stupid. Fools. I don't see the devil what to say. Go ahead.
No, but it's just a little bit of moral here. It says the phrase "keep the body, take the mind." Keep the body, ensuring the enslaved person remains physically capable of performing labor, but take the mind, meaning erase the enslaved person's sense of self-worth, agency, and hope, leading them to view their subservient status as the natural order of things.
I've seen a thing.
It's just fun. We talk about, we break down on how this is witchcraft. witchcraft, these are rituals. Well, I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to for that. You have no idea on how you're lost. It ain't about you having fun. It's about the act that they're doing for you to have fun. It's sorcery, it's witchcraft, it's sacrificing dead bodies, like you just la. It's spiritual shit attacking you that you have no idea about.
I seen a rabbi actually say that their whole purpose was to exploit the mind and flood the airways with wickedness and just to take the spiritual reality. So they said it openly. They say it openly all the time. Now we got a video we got. I got to find it.
They go through a process of breaking down the minds of those entities and spiritually entering. Because you have to be like a welcoming host to
Diligence.
you. Right?
Yeah. That's it on that?
Okay. This speaks to what brought out right there. Jeremiah 17:4 says, "And thou, even thyself," Jeremiah 17:4 says, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue the heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Thou hast kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." And that's ultimately happening. Esau has just been a tool that the Lord used to bring that property to pass. And when they say kindle forever, it means for a certain amount of time. It wasn't forever. It was a certain amount of time we were supposed to be blinded, and the remnant would return. It says, though Israel be at the sand of the sea, yet still a remnant return. And that's the reason why it's so unbelievable to the minds of the people. When they see us, they're like, they think it's a joke. That's why they be like, we cool with all this life to be managed and this enemy without honor. They see 2/3 of Israel, they're like, ain't no way. Like, those are the people. They're not considering that the Lord has the remnant. They always preserve the remnant.
He saw thought this was a done deal. He thought it was full.
Yeah, he thought, yeah.
That's a future prophecy. That was a prophecy that came to pass. When you think about the two main bulletin points in that scripture, discontinue from their heritage and serve their enemies, we fit both of those prophecies. That's why the prophecy was spoken in Luke chapter 2. That people eventually overcome that. He is the hopeful elect. I want to find that number. I got it right here. Luke chapter 2 and verse it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." We're in the land where we were taken captive. Man. The Lord put the spirit on the hopeful elect to wake up in these last days and remember their heritage. And that was part of Esau's MOs, that not only strip you from your remembrance of who you were, take your language, take your customs away from you. Those things are coming back, man.
They never want to find home again. And that's why Jake, we should call I'm American. I was born in America. You know what I'm saying?
But they had Jake in the sunken place. If the name was Get Out.
Get Out.
They were showing you that movie how they use mind control, to detach you from yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw the intelligence circle.
And a big part of that is through the media, through the internet. Now you had doctrines and schooling and church and tabloids and newspapers, but now it's on a higher level because we have this witchcraft box where they deliberately put demonic messages on here to further put you into a sleep. Okay?
Disney, the child movie.
Yeah.
That they
Yep.
would put
Oh,
secret
yep.
messages in the movie.
Yep. And those were spells. Mickey Mouse was a fucking warlock.
Yeah.
The nigga had the wand and all that shit. They're showing they getting people to go to sleep.
It was that movie Fantasia where Mickey had he had a wizard hat on and everything. That's the name of the movie that he was on,
You
Fantasia.
wonder why you freaky and shit at the age of 7.
With all type of
You say,
You waking up having, well, they actually put Vicky backwards and it actually spells wicked.
See?
Yeah, damn. I didn't even think about that.
That's the deception. Like the Lord woke us up to that. Because most people, they go their lives watching all this Americanized Western, media and all of that stuff, and they become complete degenerates. You know? It's because of what? The whole time they've been secret, covert, culture creation.
Yeah.
You know, subverting the mind, destroying you morally. You know, and that's a crime. That's a crime in it. That's the ultimate crime. But we don't get no justice. We, in fact, hypothetically, we could have a whole lawsuit against them with everything listed, all the crimes that the state violence towards us and all of that type of stuff, and it'll be condemning, but we'll get no traction, no tread when it comes to that action, injustice. That's why the Lord has to step in.
Well, man, y'all see they brought up the Toy Story with the head on the crane, Barbie.
Oh yeah, I know something about.
And they brought out that it literally makes good sense, but the doll had one eye, and it was called a one-eyed monster. What is that? And then you had the duck, which went into it was a quack, like a quack head.
He's talking about Sid's toys.
Yeah, Sid's toys.
Sid's toys.
And then you had the hooker. It was literally a hooker. Oh yeah. It was subliminal.
Because it had a hook on it or whatever. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's the shit, like, they didn't know about, but, I liked Toy Story when I was a kid.
But that's the bewitching, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
bewitching.
bewitching.
You ain't supposed to put your wine, or what is it? Put drink to your brother's mouth.
Yeah, somebody did
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Stop before the left.
Psalm 64.
They got Jay Good with the music though, for sure.
Yeah, now, yeah.
That's the worst. That's the worst. Yeah.
This is Psalm 64:1. It says, "A Psalm of David. Hear my voice, O God, my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy." It said, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked."
Yeah, so there's an agenda behind closed doors that the average man has no idea about. It's an agenda from on high. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. What is the counsel about? The counsel is about how they manipulate the world and deceive the Israelites. How they can destroy the Israelites. How they can establish a world order. How they can begin to blame and point the finger at all evil that's going on. They're gonna be Esau. If it ain't gonna fix Esau, is always gonna have a boogeyman where he comes in as the motherfucking superhero. You see? So the next boogeyman is gonna be the Israelites. So he's gonna come in as a superhero to fix the problem.
Kill you so he can murder doing his murdering spree.
Yeah.
It says,
Openly.
he's going to be justified. Like it's justified. He has a justification. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
For the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And who are the insurrections of the workers of iniquity? They have names. The Illuminati, trial out of commission. They're on the round table. All right? The Knights Templar.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, the Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
They have
Illuminati,
names.
all of that.
Each department has their own councils and think tanks and things like that to manipulate the world.
NGOs.
Yep.
And really, I didn't know about. I knew about
Jake has no
NGOs.
idea what this devil has done and is still doing to destroy the minds of the Israelites. Jake has no idea what this devil has done and is doing right now today.
It's sarcastic about it. They have an idea. They believe this guy can be their friend with them.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to be nice.
And then you got Jake that's waking up to certain things, but you ain't know the whole fucking story, man. You see, you can know the white man's the devil, but you gotta wake up to you an Israelite. You gotta wake up to Yahweh Shai. There's layers to waking up. You see, there's levels to it. See, through the spirit, the water Yahweh Shema Shah, we have the whole story, man. We understand the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we understand what's going to happen next. We understand who has the power next. Who will receive the power next. We understand why we're in this condition. So it's levels to waking up. You know?
Right, like it says in Ezekiel 37, about the sinews and the cancer of the flesh and all that.
Yep.
But it
That's why I called it. Yep.
It didn't have any breath.
Exactly.
The word for insurrection, it says an uprising against civil authority, but in this sense, it's an uprising against who? The Israelites.
Yep. Uprising against the people.
So it says back in Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Yep.
He's mentioning the trial out of commission, all of these different stolen bones and all of their counsels.
Yep.
It says from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Yeah, because they're working iniquity. Ephesians 6:12. You know, it says spiritual wickedness in high places. It says who wet their tongue like a sword. Yeah, so they sharpen their tongue. So it's like they're in these councils and they're saying all manner of evil and how they can overthrow us and how they can set snares and traps.
And they're setting it up by the way of their laws. Yep.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. You know, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
And it's not just the words, it's the policies. They have policies that they're setting. Laws, amendments that they're putting into play. You know? Go ahead.
It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Yeah.
So they don't fear.
They ain't thinking twice about the judgment that happened to them for fucking months. And now it's coming as a spirit.
I have this chapter ready.
It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Come on, let's
Let me do it.
eat his thigh.
Let me do it. Encouraging their wickedness. Like we ain't come up with a better plan to kill these people yet?
It's not elaborate enough.
You know?
Right. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Yeah, meaning we got this far, the Lord ain't getting nothing to us. Who's gonna be able to, who knows what we're doing? It's 3 in the morning, we're in goddamn London. In the motherfucking, in the fucking dome. You know what I'm saying? We done flew all the way over here to have this council where nobody even knows this location. Yep. The angels, stupid fuck.
Right.
Dumbass.
Little bug, hitting like the angel, little bug, all of the crevices, the secret chamber and stuff like that. But no, verse 6, it says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
They search out and they search out different cultures. They search out different weaponry. They search out different gods. And they successful in their search and they put it to play. Micah 2 and 1. Because it is in the power of their hand. They put things into motion. You know?
It says both the inward thought of every one of them, right, in the heart is deep.
The heart is
That's why they have scientific breakdowns of, eugenics.
yeah.
Francis Galvin Institute, the whole institute, predicated on dehumanizing and weaponizing, their whiteness and all of that type of stuff. You know.
Hey, when you look at the Masonic Creed, written by Johnny Barker, it goes into all like the deepness of what they're going into, the medical industry, the food. They said they're gonna poison you everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
They'll destroy the minds of people. They said they're gonna be in plain sight. They'll never know it. And those that do know it, will make it like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it goes in. Like,
What is it called?
the Masonic Creed by Johnny Barker.
You got it, man.
No, it's a statement. Yeah, I got
drugs and everything. What is it? The brainwashing and all of that, bro. They got a hand in all of it.
You know, it's the father of modern day medicine.
Yeah.
Because he twisted with holistic practices, you know, that been established for thousands of years.
Oh, eugenics is in that documentary too. I'm gonna post it.
He's completely better than medical industry, right? Because it was first they used herbs and the herbologists, and then he went after them, shut them down, and brought in.
A lot of them was killers. A lot of them was being murdered. There was murder.
And he's still doing that.
And that's why you gotta go sign the Hippocratic oath before you become a doctor and things of that nature. You have to go to the rituals to, people allegiance. That's why when doctors, what do? When doctors find out too much in America and they go against it, they end up getting murdered. They get murdered.
There's a lot of doctors who died during COVID.
Yep, they got murdered.
They were bringing out a lot of information.
Yep. Yeah, some of them was already flipped, you know. Yep.
Yeah, he introduced petrochemical.
Oh yeah.
Pharmaceutical industry. Pharmacy goes to the pharmakia, which that's why Walgreens had to change their logo. But some of them still got it, but they had the witches pie.
Oh yeah, the cauldron or whatever. Yeah.
You know.
It has stars coming out of it, right? Something like that. Yeah, there's something wrong.
So Psalm 64 and 7. It says, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Because they made their whole mantra was secrecy. Illuminati being having a light. And the Lord, hey, he exposed it. Their power, their superpower was secrecy at one point. Now the Lord has lifted the spirit.
Yeah, that's how he's all made fair. That's how you can. Also, the bar stamped this years ago. How you destroy secret societies when you go to secrets.
And so the Lord is that.
It's a Edomite. He recently they offered it, but he pointed out the fact that they asked to put it out they have to put it in plain sight. You know, in order for it to work, you know, the people have to consent to it. So now the Lord is like opening people's eyes up to what's already been out there. Go back to the old days. Oh, that's why they, you know, that's a lot of people telling people all the time stuff.
Yeah, like you have men that was of their race come out and expose what they do. They open that. That's the Lord put the spirit on them to do it. You know, to feel their secrets. That's like that whistleblower. You know, they're low level people. Eric Snowden and what's the other dude who turned to a woman, David, like Manning or something like that. You know, they have a lot. You know, Jordan Maxwell, many of them.
I got
What's that dude named? That old dude, Michael Cesario?
Yeah.
He was bringing out
Yeah.
witchcraft and stuff, things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that.
That dude from London or England. What's his name?
Oh, you talking about the dude they just WikiLeaks dude, the guy from WikiLeaks?
He had WikiLeaks, he had,
They just
there's a couple of them.
I think they just tried to
But who was the guy from the back of the day? Fat dude.
their song.
Yeah.
had them locked up.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Well, that
Oh,
dude-
Crowley. Crowley.
He make that town fall apart.
Crowley. That's what I'm talking about.
But you go ahead with the scriptures.
Yeah, slide.
Well, I got a precept to go with. Now I brought out the secret council. Psalms 62 and 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. Okay, and that consulting is the secret council of the wicked. And him that they trying to cast down from his excellency is the Israelites. You know, Yashar. You know, that's one of their main thing they talk about behind closed doors, how to keep us in a dead state. You know. But they didn't factor in that a remnant will return. It's,
60, 68, whatever.
It's a little bit more. Psalm 62 and 4 says, they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth and they curse inward.
Yeah, so
It's Psalm 62 and 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency.
yeah, so their whole purpose is to what? they're here to tell the world to slander their own brother. To tell the world this man, they're imbeciles, they're niggas, they're void of life. They don't have any spirituality. They're savages.
That's hate.
Yeah, that's hate.
That's a hater ass nigga, man. Damn, he's a hater, bro. Damn, man. Hate. That monkeys.
Right.
He lying. He lying, man.
Whatever projection is a
Shit be
connection.
killing me, though. Like, this nigga lying. Like, he lying. Nigga came from monkeys, got the world to believe. Niggas came from monkeys.
Yeah, that's that pseudo
Like, God damn. Monkeys, nigga.
in the scripture say they buried themselves in wickedness,
We gotta figure out what somebody is.
They got a whole
Just to
book.
make us look bad.
Savage. Like, man, when they came to the northern kingdoms, they got treated good. You got help, you got delivered from fucking terrible winners. Just the right some shit. Yeah, these are savages. Damn.
But they even said, even Christopher Cologne, he wrote how naive and how loving the
Yeah.
Taino.
I got this.
But you do, but let's not get it twisted. You had some elders there that knew through the spirit they were able to expose that thing. You already got to know they had some elders at that time that knew what was going on. You know, and they immediately had to slaughter. You know? Don't look, man. It's a lot of
Oh,
shit that
like-
you don't
like,
know that they get revealed.
That's why they ambushed them at 4:30 in the morning.
Yep.
They killed all the men off
Yep.
first. They beheaded all the men.
You got it, yep.
Yeah, Montezuma, but he's about to do.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This was something that was said by John D. Rockefeller, y'all. Just to show how, he steals his monkeys, and less inferior and all that. It said, we will keep their lives short and their minds weak, while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology so that they never see what is happening.
If that's not foul play, I don't know what it is. You know, that's a crime against humanity itself. You know, but he get to set the rules. He get to do whatever he pleases. He's not in trouble as other men. That's why the Lord has stepped in.
It says they will be covered in poisons wherever they turn. It says when they rise up against us.
Is that not true? We all suffer from ailments due to the environment, and we can prove it. We can go to a doctor and do all type of tests. Hey, you got this in your food forever chemicals. You know.
Yeah.
The way we cooking with pots and stuff. Teflon. You know what I'm saying? As kids, we don't do it no more with cast iron now, but as kids growing up, mama had the Teflon.
Spray. I don't know who's parents spray, man. Yeah, but it was literally, you
Raised by house.
take some fun. But I was gonna say, hey, it was revealed like a couple of months ago that the same year that they started putting fluoride in the water was also the same year and day that they started telling people to drink up to 8 cups of water a day. Right, they hydrated.
You all fast. Like that.
You know, you used to think it was water that was being sprayed on the vegetables in the Walmarts and H-E-B's and I had y'all gotta take a save, you know, but it ain't. It's some type of solvent or chemical that parts per billion, anything higher than it will fucking kill you. But just enough. Poison. You know? It ain't water, just spraying up those things ain't water. So
You take that ain't warfare. That's you at war.
yeah.
And if you get poisoned by that, you go to the hospital and they feed you more.
It said, when they rise up against us, we will crush them like insects because they are less than that. There you go. They still less than that. It's the same way that when you go into Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, and it said that we fools are kind of their life madness. That's them acknowledging that they saw us as absurd or not worth anything because we didn't consent or engage in what they were about. You know, Esau, and you see it all the time. Well, I see this shit all the fucking time, man, with these Edomites I work with, man. But they see me less and retarded and all that type of shit because I don't think the way that they think. you know, they're farming and all that type of shit. You know, which I had told him, I was like, bro, y'all literally, Esau literally turned that most common way of living to be the greatest thing of him in his time. That's a common thing. You should know how to, yeah. And you try to make that shit seem like it's an apex and, you know, makes you the best, you know, of all nations. That's crazy, man. But it says, we will crush them like insects because they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything about it. Because Esau sees us again as inferior, as weak.
They did not think that the Lord came here. That's the thing. They thought they did not have their mind. And because of, remember the story, somebody get that in chapter. I love this story. This really made me think. This chapter really made me understand that how the heathens, how they know that they're chosen, and they are doing everything to keep us down, and we should by the laws. You know what I'm saying? But they in a trick bag because it ain't about that no more. It's about the outcome. You know, the way they understood back in the ancient world on how we would stay down is by putting nothing but wickedness and folly in front of us that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's why they attack our temple.
That's why they attack the temple, a place where we worship. See? But see, we ain't in the ancient world, bitch. We in the ancient world, bitch. We the temple. See? Now the Spirit it sups with us. Now we can sacrifice. Now we can ask Yahweh Shema Shah for forgiveness for our sins, for our wickedness, for the things we did that day. We ain't gotta wait to go for the priest to take on that duty and go into the temple and things of that nature, right?
The high priest in heaven.
See, y'all still carnal. See, y'all niggas is still carnal.
I can go in my room and get on my knees and pray to the Lord.
Right. I'm praying right now.
Yeah.
You pray right now. As we don't know how ways and my ways teaching. In my mind, praying. Right now. See, you didn't think about that. See? But this chapter proves that they know. You know, and they deliberately put everything around us so the Lord wouldn't do us.
That's why he's trying to go into mind control.
Right.
Make the wickedness look enticing. That's what the Bible is when they hear America. What do you want to know? What was that one?
Well, give and then I called
Isaiah 40.
Judah 5. Judah 5th chapter. But give what y'all got, brother.
Psalm 37 and 14. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. They want to silence that voice, like the elders and Akib have been going into. I believe it was the elder from Hawaii. He had posted how the elite basically maintain their power through secrecy is by protecting institutional power, you know, and basically just using political control, you know, to keep away, you know, public interference, so to speak. But the wicked being Esau, Edom, you know, it says they used the sword, which they were blessed with in Genesis 27, you know, which is their ability to deceive, you know, war, poison, you know, that's why they poison the skies and the waters, man, you know, the poor and needy and the ones that are of upright conversation represent the nation of Israel.
Beginning with the elect.
Beginning with the elect, you know, on down, and that was Esau's agenda from the beginning. Going back to Genesis 27 and 40, like he said, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. That's that prophecy coming to pass. It's in his spirit. He couldn't stop himself even if he wanted to, man. The Lord got him wired to be the devil.
That was a perpetual saying. That was like a saying that
It
would
would last forever. It said it would last forever. I would slay my brother Jacob. I would slay my brother Jacob. That's in their mind. I would slay my brother Jacob.
go to sleep.
I
Every generation.
Yeah, every generation. They probably put that shit. Pass that shit through 5 generations. I would say my brother Jacob. You know, and look what this devil is doing. You can see it, and it don't stop with the elites. These little fucking faggot ass crackers around this country who still hanging Jacob, who still murdering Jacob. KKK. See, look, we getting attacked by the elites, and we getting attacked by these other Edomites around this bitch, man. You know, like the young boy was shooting the fucking devil, no fucking way, but whatever, man. You know, all them stories, all these stories about the black lady. The black lady was in a room full of number Edomite bitches. You know, on the couch, ended up dead. There's so many stories about Jake being with these damn devils. Fuck Martin Luther King, bitch ass, right? Because he pushed that peaceful agenda to be amongst the motherfuckers. And Jake would be whipped by that faggot ass nigga. That's why his ass still got popped.
There's another Jake that just landed in the hospital like 2 weeks ago. He was nearly beheaded.
So that spirit is trickling down to the lower Edomites. It ain't just the elite, it's these lower Edomites that's doing wicked ass shit.
And they pushing for a race riot.
They want the race riot. Yeah, hell yeah.
You had that movie with Ben Affleck, I can't remember what it's called. By Night and Day, where he was Italian lobster, and he went to the front, guy running his car factory. He's like, I want to speak to the guy, I want to speak to you, so you're in charge. He goes, hell, boy, you think stop our clan, he's barely gone. Shit, judges, bank tellers, you know.
Bank tellers.
But no, no, to go with that story, it's actually last year, we got 2 chicks that were tried. Edomite came to their neighborhood with a shotgun shooting. And the judge charged them for protecting them with first degree murder, because he ended up dying. I think a little later after he got shot. But they charged Jake with first degree murder for protecting their home from the man that came into the community with a shotgun, from the Edomite, with a shotgun who was trying to ship it around Kansas. So Esau, man, they are wicked. They're evil and hateful, bro.
We gonna get them faggots. We gonna get them back. Get all their fucking this cat.
I can remember the information that came out right after the Carmelo Anthony trial, after he was found guilty.
Yep.
Come to find out, the judge,
Yep.
the prosecutor,
Yep.
the defense attorney,
Yep.
and the jury are all related. You know?
And then they didn't play the video that basically incriminated the 2 white boys until after the trial.
Yep.
Which that was
That would have stopped them from each other. It's just they raging.
Yeah,
They
that's
raging. It's rage bait.
because they know Jake. They
Jake
know
is
Jake.
tired, man. Jake tired. Jake tired. Jake tired. And who shall rouse him up? Who shall rouse him up? It's coming to a point where hey, Jake is getting tired. Never thought I'd see it.
Yeah.
But Jake is getting tired, man. Jake is getting tired, man. They even now the social media area is drawing those different divisions now. Right? You got Jake going up to whoever they see. If you see one Jake and amongst a lot of Edomites, Jake walking up to him. You good, brother? You good, brother? You know what I'm saying? He said, and he's bluntly, but he blunt with it too. He said, you know what's happened with that other situation? I'm making you with number white people. I'm just making sure you good. You know what I'm saying? So that spirit of that division of who's who. You know that man, we've been speaking about this. It's gonna get to a point where even you bitch ass, weak ass Israelite men, the nerds, those that was amongst all the Edomites and all that shit, they gonna get pissed off. When the nerds get pissed off about racism, you know,
They are.
when them niggas get pissed off about racism, they gon' snap. Because it's like for them nerds, man, it's like they always see it, but they always play the blind eye to it. But now it's getting so blood in their face, these poor ass niggas, man, they gonna pounce on Esau ass, man.
No, that's actually happening.
They gonna pounce on Esau, man.
That world where Jake watch a lot of anime, and there's a lot of racists. You know, there's a lot of Edomites that hate Jake, and they always get mad when a black character come out.
Yep.
They actually, them nerds, they put up with a lot of fucking hate.
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that because
that Jake, that
Yeah, they hated when Miles Morales came out, when the Black Spider-Man came out.
they hated when Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Oh yeah, the mermaid. Like, yeah, they got mad at that. Damn.
Yeah,
That's the cartoon at that.
right.
Esau, boy. But that's the perpetual hatred that's written in Genesis. So we understand it. You know?
You can't get raised, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can't raise made up. Like, we know what's going on, nigga. Give a couple more precepts.
Just bring in the point that we're supposed to hate Esau. You're supposed to hate him. That's righteous in the sight of the Heavenly Father. It's to hate him. Amos 5:15, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the guilty. It may be that the Lord power of hosts will be gracious to the remnant of Jacob, which is the elect. Hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. Yeah. If you love, when you loving on Esau, Edom and shit, you forgive everything they do to you, you're not going to be able to judge correctly, you know, when those times come. It's going to be so damn scary, man.
Especially in the corporate world. That's already happening.
They see it. They be catching hell, man. They be catching hell, man. They be catching hell. It's just the Lord took that spirit off of Jake to do something, you know. So, but that spirit is coming back. You got it out.
Because at this point, you know, well, I agree. Ecclesiastes 12:13, it says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten of a serpent, or any such that come nigh wild beasts?" So at this point in 2026, and especially with the prophets being out here, if you don't know who your enemy is, and you hanging amongst these Edomites, that's on you. Who gonna pity you?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, a snake charm. You playing with a poisonous snake. That motherfucker fuck around and bites you. Who gonna pity you? Everybody gets like shit. You know, you already know what kind of weird, man. You know, and then like a beast, you know, you at the zoo and then you want to jump over and pet the lion and shit, you get fucking mauled to death. That's on you.
Yeah, because Esau, he got this lure. And then Jake always, again, the history said that Jake always loved Esau, you know? And now it's like Esau, man, he's going to use that to get over on him.
Yeah, because Esau can act like a friend, man. I'm telling you. Like,
They cold with
the
it.
white boys, they can really act like they your friend. You know, they can really play that role as like, this is my guy, you know what I'm saying? They can really play that role and they get you to a point where you're comfortable. They'll put you on game. They'll look, this my dad did this and this, and they'll show you all type of shit. And then, you know,
Watch out for the snakes.
yeah,
I don't
bro.
know. Nigga do me like that.
The Edomites, man, they're some motherfuckers, boy. They can really get you to be comfortable. They can get you to get comfortable. And you see it, man. You can see they get immediately comfortable. Oh, they are enemy, man.
It's a thing, like Jake want to be accepted by Esau. But what y'all understand is that that light, that lure that he has, where everybody's, you know, he's the main star character and he's the center of the world, that's coming to an end. It's coming to a point where nobody's going to want to be nowhere near this man. And it's coming, they're realizing, the world is realizing, because of the Spirit of the Lord, is that this man he's just pure evil, he's pure wickedness, hypocrisy. Now he's the that what does Scripture say that my eyes shall be upon the sinful people? Because of the hypocrisy, basically. Now he's the hypocritical nation, you know.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be despised.
They look no further than DJ Trump. You know, look at his approval rate. You know, a lot of people that voted for him, they making videos like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have, you know. Right.
Oh, he's hated. Shitty ass. That nigga, shitty ass. He's hated. Stinking ass.
Yeah, that's a reproach. Lord God,
That's some shit that happened. That's like the way people defy, like don't like this nigga, and like he actually stinks and shit. Like he walks. That's the reproach, but that's like some real like when you research about the Roman Empire and the emperors and shit like they had some nasty shit going on with them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be plaguing their ass, and he's one of the Romans coming back. We're gonna plaguing him.
yeah.
He's plagued, man. And everybody can see it. He's the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? The emperor is the laughing stock behind his back.
Yeah.
But he's the emperor.
Yeah.
You know?
Then he's still proud as hell.
Yep.
Super
Stinking
proud.
ass. Still proud.
Like nothing's wrong. Like
He got a whole shit in his drawers. Giving speeches and shit.
Taking a shit while he's speeching.
This nigga taking the shit while he's doing an interview. And can't nobody say nothing. Only people that saying stuff is the normal people that's catching it. But none of the captains, none of those people are saying anything.
That's why they stand there shaking it on the record.
Like,
He used to do
baby,
that back on
also-
the Apprentice.
It's repulsive.
That show The Apprentice, he used to do it. Like there'd be a word he couldn't mention. He would get mad and like, oh, you motherfuckers trying to set me up. And he would deliberately shit on himself.
Yeah, he has to have an aid with him at all times to change his pen. Oh, they fixed it was a photo of one of his aides carrying his diapers. And they AI photoshopped it to put it like a man in a military suit. Like, so yeah, they faking the funk. Yeah, no pun intended.
Anybody got something else to close out?
I'll get this.
Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and verse 13. It says, he professed to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he called himself a child of the Lord. The reason why I bring this out is because earlier you were saying, we make our boast in the Lord. We saying, like, this is what we trusted. From time to time, we couldn't make the plan. You didn't think you said you didn't think the Lord was actually going to come and help us.
Yeah.
But we saying it again that no, he is now. He's going to.
He is. He already did. He
Yep.
woke us up.
Yep. It said he was made to reprove our thoughts. It says he is grievous unto us even to behold. God damn.
Yeah, yeah, they hate our very words. Because we expose, and it goes into it, we expose every fraud, all this fraudulent ways. Like, he's that narcissistic, habitual liar who gets off online and gets off of having this, yeah, he gets off on pushing this image to the world, and we completely kill that image.
Yep.
And we correct everything that he's doing wrong. So you think he ain't grieving? Hell yeah, he grieving.
Everything he said, thinks, the world thinks that he's the inventor of everything. And we tell you, no, you ain't. It was us.
When he said it in the speech.
It says he is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are righteous. We claim to be the children of the Lord, children that were meant to be righteous, children that were meant to be in order. We are esteemed, regarded of him as counterfeits, fakes.
Yep. And counterfeits. And we expose them.
Fraudulent. That's what another word.
Yep.
Counterfeits, fraudulent.
Which is, y'all are not the real Jew.
Yep.
You're liars. You're not the chosen. You got it. Yep.
He abstained from our ways as from filthiness.
Yeah, you imagine that's the ultimate insult. Like, you know, your way is the main standard in the earth. It's just these motherfuckers who don't do it bow to me. That hurts Esau's feelings.
Yeah.
I think we're fucking gross all the time.
And you know you're gross, but you just lying. You living on a lie.
Yeah. It says he pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his father.
Yep.
Here's the main point. Let us see if his words be true. You know, like what I was saying earlier.
Test. They'll test that theory.
Yep. And let us see if what they're saying is really going to actually happen.
Yeah.
You know, they in their minds thinking it won't. It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
Woo. So they say, okay, y'all saying that the Lord will come deliver you? All right, let's see it. Let's see if you're going to, let's see if the Lord can deliver y'all from these weapons that we got, from this sorcery that we got, from dark one, from our military, from our angels. Those are known as angels too. I remember a couple of years ago, I believe they was calling the robots or something, like they had in their Esau basically was saying his technology is his angels.
Yeah.
I think I know what
It
you're
was
talking
something.
about.
It was something. I can't remember. It was,
Brother,
yeah,
just,
10 years ago I came across that.
yeah, and the brother just reposted the pic of the Blue Angel jet fighters. Yeah, no, that's yeah.
They're angels.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why in Revelation it speaks
Yep.
about Michael shall stand up with his angels and fight against Satan and his angels.
Yep.
So it's going to be military versus military.
Yep. It's technology. You know, it's
Technology versus technology.
Yep.
Terrestrial versus
Because that blessing that Jacob gave him, that nigga, he's going overboard. Like, this is my blessing, he finna use it.
And it really is a blessing.
It is his blessing. Yes, he is taking shit down.
It says
But you can't do nothing against your house like you shut. That's what the fuck up.
It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of it. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
And they've been doing that. They've been doing that since they've been in power, since the Greeks,
Yeah.
the Romans. They do that all the time.
That's it, man.
See what I mean?
So with that, and Lord willing, this is edifying. Until next time, I'm going to call praises, glory, and honor to you.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Double honor to our apostles and the bishops here at Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers, especially work the truth, but also sin. Shalom.
Shalom. Baba.